Good afternoon, grade 10 students. Okay. Today we are going to talk about the past continuous tense. So our topic is past continuous. Okay. Past continuous. Okay. What you need to know about this tense is that it describes actions or an action that was in progress in the past. Okay? An action that was in progress in the past. So it describes an action that was in progress in the past. So it is a bit different from that tense that we looked at last week. Yes, last week we looked at past simple tense. And past simple tense simply describes an action that happened at a point in time in the past and it ended, right? But this one, the past continuous, actually is an action that was in progress in the past, right? Okay. What you need to know again here is the structure. The structure of this tense. The structure of this tense, okay? We make use of the verb to be in the past, right? So we say was or were plus the main verb in gerund form. Right? Plus the main verb in gerund form. So, this was or were is our auxiliary verb that we are going to use, okay? Plus the main verb in gerund form. However, it depends on the subject pronoun that we use here in order to determine whether to use was or were. Plus this main verb, right? Okay, for example, subject pronoun I, we say I was plus the main verb in gerund form. So we can say I was eating when Anne arrived. Okay. I was eating when Anne arrived. In this case, we have two tenses here in this sentence. We have past continuous here, was eating. Then, arrived. So we have two activities taking place at the same time, right? So when I was eating, something happened. What is it? Anna arrived. Right? So this arrived is in past simple. But we are mainly concerned about the past continuous form here. Okay? So with I was, you were, plus a verb in, main verb in gerund form. He was plus a main verb in gerund form. She was plus a main verb in gerund form. Then it was plus a main verb in gerund form. Right? Then We were. Okay? We were dancing. You were playing. And they were singing. They were singing. The children were singing when the headmaster opened the door. The children were singing when the headmaster opened the door. Right. So these are affirmative sentences. These are affirmative sentences. Affirmative. These are affirmative sentences. I was playing football at 6 o'clock. She was cooking dinner at 7 o'clock, right? So we can also change these sentences in the affirmative form to negative form, okay? So I'm going to show you how we change these sentences to negative form. Okay, just allow me to wrap what is here. Okay, so here I write negative form. Negative form. Okay. How do we go about this in negative form? We simply have to add not after the auxiliary verb. After the auxiliary verb here. So we say I was not plus the main verb in gerund form. So I was not taking photos. I was not taking photos. You were plus the main verb in gerund form. You were not writing an email. You were not writing an email when mother opened the door or when mother arrived. You were not writing an email. So you can actually change the rest of these phrases to negative form. Oh, sorry, I omitted not here. You can actually change all the rest of these phrases to negative form by simply adding not after the auxiliary verb. After was or after when, you put not. So they are actually in the negative form, right? Okay. Let us now look at the interrogative form. Interrogative form. Now we need to know how to make questions using this tense, the past continuous tense. How do we go about this? Okay, it is simple. What is here in the affirmative form? We simply have to change. We simply have to change. So we are going to start by verbs, followed by subject pronouns, or followed by proper nouns. We can use Tom, John, the children, okay? But first of all, you need to write or to use a verb, the auxiliary verb in this case. So, was I plus a verb in gerund form. Was I eating? Was I eating? Okay? Was I dancing? When you came? So it is not a question. So we have got this auxiliary verb plus the main verb here. So in between the auxiliary verb and the main verb, we have this subject, right? So if you start the interrogative form by the subject, you are repeating what is here. You are repeating the affirmative form. So you need to start by the verb. Were you plus the main verb. Were you drinking juice? Were you playing football? Were you playing football? And it should be a question like this. Okay? So what you're going to do, boys and girls, to show that you have really understood this tense, I want you to write 5 sentences that are in the affirmative form. You write 5 sentences, right? In the affirmative form. Then you write 5 sentences in the negative form again, right? And lastly, I want you to write 5 questions. 5 questions using the past continuous, right? Have you understood? Good. So this is your work for today. When you are through, just take a picture and send your work to me, right? Are we together? Okay. Goodbye.